For Wales, their unbeaten run in international football came to an end in dramatic fashion as they were beaten 4-3 by Belgium in Brussels on Monday evening. Wales had gone 3-0 down early in the game and yet managed to get themselves back to a level footing, drawing 3-3 with Belgium, but then Kevin De Bruyne struck towards the end of the game to break Welsh hearts. However, the Welsh team still are in a strong position in their World Cup qualifying group, and before that they had beaten Liechtenstein 3-0. And as I say as well, Wales had been on this long unbeaten run under Craig Bellamy, so things are still looking rosy in the Wales camp despite that late loss to Belgium. But what impact will that have on Wales going forward in this World Cup qualifying group? Because of course they want to make it successive World Cups that they've qualified for, and as I say, they are still in a strong position, but you'd hope at least that this result against Belgium wouldn't affect them too much. And I think they have to draw on the positives of the fact that they managed to get the game back to 3-3 and perhaps ignore the fact that they went 3-0 down in the game and also ended up losing on late on. But let's go now to Charles Hague-Jones, our Wales sport correspondent. Charles, obviously frustration for Wales and disappointment of losing so late on, but there's a lot of positives to take in that game. But also, what can they learn from the negatives of going down early 3-0 and losing late on as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to just give Craig Bellamy some credit. Obviously, we've mentioned him a number of times during the start of his reign, what was possibly to come, the optimism that he instilled. But, you have to look back to that first ever press conference when he joined the media, the world media, the Welsh media, the home nation media, to sort of say this is what we're going to do. And there was a lot of critics coming in and thinking he's biting off a bit more than he can chew. He then goes 10 games unbeaten, falls short against Belgium in Brussels in a massive game, but he showed he can compete and this side can compete. You have to really respect international managers in terms of the limited amount of times they have with their players. I really sort of admired the fact that he evaluated the group before these games and said, look, some of them are coming off the back of a Europa League win, the likes of Brennan Johnson. A lot have been promoted to the Premier League with Leeds. There's a lot of highs in the group, but there was also some lows. There was also some players in the group that didn't have amazing seasons personally. So it's about getting the balance right. I really loved that from Bellamy, trying to admire that sort of understanding of players. He's just clearly shown that he'd been a player before his time, and I think that's perfect in this generation we're in now. So many players become managers and it doesn't quite work out, but I think Bellamy's got he's found his sort of perch. He's really, really comfortable at the moment on such a grand stage. And I mean, their first major display of progress, came with promotion to the Nations League. You have to look at that. So there's been tactical shifts. There's been player call-ups that you weren't expecting. They obviously got the promotion to the Nations League A, which was incredible. Their home form has been fantastic. Wales have just been this formidable beast. The goals they've scored, the tactical knowledge they've shown throughout games has been fantastic. This is still a young side. You've got to remember that as well. Be that nation that rises to the big occasions. I mean, it's all going to be seen, obviously, as trying to ensure that passage to the 2026 World Cup. Now, qualification is firmly in reach. Kazakhstan and return of Belgium is what's to come. At the back end of this year, massive fixtures, especially Belgium in Cardiff. Can they get a win there? Would be an incredibly memorable one, probably the most, if they are to do so, in terms of Bellamy's tenure so far. Obviously, the contract runs to Euro 2028, which he's going to want to qualify towards with flying colours, and then go into that with another fantastic major tournament display under his belt. And as I said multiple times before, Wales football is certainly on the rise. That goes for the women's game as well. Be sure for them to look out and have a good Euro 2025 tournament. Very surprised if they don't. But yeah, loads of momentum, loads of positivity, and it all is still rising for Bellamy and Wales. So yeah, so much positivity going on around the nation at the moment in terms of their football scene, and loads to hope for in the coming months.